Hello everybody, a very warm welcome back to MEC-TEC. We're back on Project Plonker today. I'm doing my very best to leave that Lotus on the driveway alone out there, and we're going to crack on and get some more bits put back on the old van and hopefully get it driving. That is the plan. So the first thing we're going to do, we need to cut the air scoop in there because it is where I've refiberglassed. It's sitting very slightly at an angle and it's not letting the rad sit down low enough to go into the two brackets in there. So we need to take a little sliver off the bottom of it. That will allow the rad to then fit back in where it should go, and then we can carry on with the next step, which is probably going to be the steering column after that. So let's get that done first. Then I haven't got to worry about that anymore, and it can go back in. I haven't got to worry about the rad getting damaged then because it's sitting inside the van at the moment. And then we can carry on and get some progress done on this whole van. Let's crack on. Right, now initially I was going to try and cut this from underneath, but by the looks of it, there's no access under there. I didn't even think of that with obviously the wheel and suspension and everything in the way. So as you can see, I've marked a line across down there. I think I'm going to take this fan off, which will give me a bit more access, and I'm going to run the grinder straight across there, and that should hopefully give us enough access for the rad to then fit. As you can see, the edge of this air scoop isn't straight. I've drawn a straight line across it as best I can, so that is obviously the straight line as best as I could get it, and you can see the edge is obviously nowhere near straight. So we'll see if we can neaten that up a bit, and you won't see any of this once it's together, but obviously I know it's there. So I'm going to buzz this fan off, and then we'll get in there, get the grinder in there, cut that slit off, and hopefully that should do it. Let's carry on. Rightio, I've had this rad in and out a couple of times since that bit of time lapse, and I've modified the scoop a little bit more. You can see there's a gap down there at the bottom now, and that is in the position it's going in. But as you can see, the fan's not on there. Unfortunately, I tried to turn the engine over by hand with the fan to see if it cleared the rad, and in doing so I put a crack in one of these blades. I think it's that one. So now I need a new fan, which is unfortunate. This was a second-hand one anyway. So my old mate Dan's come to the rescue. He's got another fan for me. So unfortunately we can't go any further with bolting that in at the moment. I did have it bolted in, but as I say, I took it back out again a couple of times to modify the scoop a bit more. So that is ready to bolt in now. But as I say, we can't bolt it in yet because we've got to bolt the fan in first. So we're going to move on to the next job now, which I think is going to be the steering column, which is nestled in here. You can see it, the black rod going through there. We'll get that uncovered out of there and get it in position and see if we can get that bolted in. Right, we're under the Supervan, as you can see. I've poked the steering column through from the top, and it bolts on to this plate on the chassis here. So we've got 3 bolts we need to put in under here. We also need to feed it through the hole in the dashboard at the other end, obviously, to put the steering wheel on. So this is going to be a bit fiddly because I haven't got a lot of room, and I'm not small, and this van is. So yeah, it's going to be a bit fiddly, but we'll see what we can do. I may have to get it through the dash first, and then come back underneath and do this bit. But I might be able to do it all. So I don't want to chip it, that's the problem. So I've painted it all. But this end's the heavy end, so it's kind of like you've got to hold this end to get that end through, if that makes sense. Bear with, I'm going to try and do this if I can. Can't see all that well, if I'm honest. Can't see at all, in fact. Right, I'm going to have to go. Oh, actually, it might have gone in. Nope, too high. Gone through the speedo hole. I'm going to have to go top side and feed it through, and hopefully that will keep it in position to get the bottom bolted in. To stay there a minute, and in fact, I can do it from here. I can look through the headlight hole. That's easier. Just couldn't see where the electrical hole in the dash was, but it's in there now, so that's good. Right, hopefully you can see what's going on here. So this has just got a slide in, and it'll bolt up to that bracket there like that. It'll be absolutely marvellous. Hopefully. Whoop. It's sliding out. That's because I can't get the bolt in there yet. Sorry, not the camera. Get this bolt and it'll stop it sliding. Like that. There we go. There's one. I've got another one there. Like that. Another one up here in this corner, which I can't see at all. Which I'm doing by purely feeling it. Where is it? Around here somewhere. Not sure where the other one is. Is it over the other side of that bracket? Yeah, it is. It's right there. Completely the wrong place I'm trying to get it through. Right, it's over this side. I feel it. There it is. You can probably see this better than me, to be honest. Right, so there's our 3 bolts in. We've got washers and locking nuts to go on. All the, I think this is all the original stuff, not from this van, but stuff that I've obviously got in my stash, luckily. And hopefully we can get this thing steering, which is going to be a bit of a small milestone. Right, that's that one started off. Get them all started off by hand, and we'll buzz them up with a spanner and a electric ratchet after. Now I have already refurbished this steering rack, or steering box I should say. I did that before I actually started my YouTube channel, which is why you haven't seen it done. But it was in a fair old state, and obviously now it's absolutely marvellous, so hopefully it will work alright. This one's going to be tricky because I can't actually see what I'm doing. And my hands, ouch, my hands stopped working. Ow. Just want to get it started and then I can buzz it up with the other thing then. It's not going to go. No, dropped them on the floor. That was going to happen. Might have to go top side to do that one actually. Might be a bit easier. Sorry, the light moved. There you go. See it in there. Wondering if it might be easier to bolt up the first 2 to draw it in, and then that last one will be a bit easier to do up then. So let's do that, try that out. It's going the wrong way. It's a good start. That's that one. That's that one. Spanner stuck on there. Got my hand through the headlight hole at the moment. I'm going to do these a little bit more just by manually, just so that they're tweaked up nice and tight. Come off, spanner. There it goes. I'm not too mad on this because this casting is alley and they do have a tendency to snap, so I'm not going too mental with the tightness on that. Right, let's see if I can get this other one in now. Now that those two have drawn it up, yeah, I can twiddle it on easy. That's good. Well, that was going to cause me a bit of grief, but it's all right. Get an extension bar for the ratchet, I think. That'll go from the top. Go from the top, that's a lot easier. That is our steering column in. Yeah, lovely. Nice to get that part in out the way. Right, now, next thing I'm going to do is go and find all the linkages that go on here and then link down to the steering arm, which is just out of shot that you can't see. Let me see if I can move the camera, hang on. You can see the steering arm here. That's what the trackward end and little arm I've got to go onto. So I've got to go and find those, and then we'll get those bolted onto, and then we should have some working steering ready. Look, lovely jubbly. Right, I've got all the steering arm and linkage on and everything else, as you can see. It all works, and I've adjusted it to make it so there's no slop in it, but it doesn't make a very nice noise. Let me demonstrate. Hang on. Not particularly happy with how that sounds. So at the moment it's got oil in it as original, but I have heard of a lot of people putting grease inside instead of oil, so I'm wondering whether I might unfortunately take it back out again and maybe see whether taking it apart and greasing it will make it any better. I don't know where that annoying noise is coming from, whether it's inside the box or the actual column inside the tube. I've had it all apart and cleaned it all, so now it's all clean. There's no rust inside it. It was a right state when I got it, so maybe it was past it, I don't know. But I'm going to have a think about this for a minute and decide what I'm going to do. Right, I've actually got another fan here now. As you can see, I actually ended up getting this off my mate Neil Huckle. If you ever need any Reliant spares, he's pretty good. Well, he's very good, in fact. He's always got what I need by the seams of it, so that's superb. I think I've built half my van from him. So I'm going to get this one fitted back on. We can get the rad fitted back in permanently, and that's that job finished then. Now you can see the steering column is in over there. I'm not happy with the way that sounds inside. It doesn't sound right. Something's not right with it. So I've actually got another one which is just here. It does need a repaint, but what I'm going to do for now is fit it and just see if it sounds all right once it's on the van. Again, this came from Neil, and obviously go from there, I guess. And if it obviously all sounds all right and everything else, then we'll get it painted up so it looks absolutely marvellous again, because it's a little bit chipped, as you can see. So we'll get the fan on, get the rad back in. I won't need to film that again because you've seen me do that already, and then we'll swap that. I'll swap that steering column over and I'll show you the result when I get it in there. Right, there we go. That is our fan and rad bolted in, hopefully for the final time. As you can see, I've got good clearance between the fan and the rad. It's all bolted in solid. Hoses are all done up, So now we can concentrate on getting that column back out and the other one I've got in, and see how that one obviously sounds and feels when it's got some weight on it on the wheels. And if it's all right, then obviously I'll take it back off again and get it painted. And once that's obviously painted, we can then put it on for good. After that, I think I'm going to tackle that battery tray which sits just there. So let's crack on, otherwise we're going to be waffling all day and not get any work done. Right, with the newly acquired steering column bolted in, I'll just hopefully demonstrate this for you so you can hear it. It is now lovely and smooth, very easy to turn, just how it should be, no noise, absolutely spot on. So that other column was definitely at fault. So now I've got to take that back out again, rub it down, get it painted so it matches the rest of the van, all looks nice and new, and then we can put it back in for good and leave it in there. Carry on to the next job. Top banana. Right, I've left the steering column in there for now, just so we can obviously make a little bit of progress on other things and know where that goes. So it's still chipped up at the moment, I haven't painted it yet. I'll do that off camera after this video most probably. I was going to fit this nice new battery tray that I've got next, which is the same one as we put in Stobart. I think we also put it in the Trotter van, and my mate Dan's got one in his van as well. So these are nice upgrade to what used to be there, which was like a plastic or fiberglass battery tray, which only took a very small battery. This takes an 036, I think it is. I'll check that, hang on. Here's the packet. 063 battery it takes. So it's a nice bit of kit this. It comes with all the nice hardware and all that sort of thing. But I realised that in here you can see there's some holes over the back there. They are for the throttle pedal to go through, and there's a metal plate which needs to rivet in there first, which I need to do because otherwise I can't get to it. I can bolt the pedal in after, but the plate needs to go on. So I've just given it a quick rub down and a coat of stone chip to give that a nice bit of protection. It's pretty much dry now. So we're going to get this riveted in. I'm going to try and rivet it from the inside so that the horrible side of the rivets is under the engine bay, if that makes sense, so that you don't catch your feet or legs on it when you're in the cab, because obviously it does go through the top of the footwell. And then we can get that battery tray in hopefully. So I'll get that riveted in and I'll come back to it in a minute. Right, as you can see, I've got the metal plate laying in place. It needs to go in. I've just got in some rivets together, and I've also got some small washers to put on the inside, just to give the fiberglass a little bit more chance of sort of spreading the load on it a little bit, if that makes sense. Possibly not needed, but I just thought I'd err on the side of caution and do that. So I'm going to get inside the van, hopefully, without falling over everything. I need to have a massive clear out in here. Reasons which will become clear in future videos. I'm not saying any more than that at the moment. But we've got some big changes happening around here, so it's going to be all hands to the pump, which is why I've not had a lot of time to spend on the van lately. Now this is going to be tricky because I need to try and get these rivets through. In fact, I'm going to take the steering wheel back off. Hopefully I won't spear myself on the end of the column. I need to get these rivets through from the inside whilst holding the plate under the bonnet. So once I get one in and done, it'll obviously hold it in position. Hopefully I can get through with the speedo hole. You should see that rivet just poke through. Yeah, you do. That's good. Right. Let's hold that where that is there then. Actually, it might not be too bad. So I can get my hands through the... Look, I didn't put the speedo in yet. I'm not gonna... Right, that's just squeezed in there at the moment so that it's holding it. I'm not going to snap it off yet because I want to get another one in to square it up, so that I know it's definitely in the right position before I go all the way home with it. It should be, but again, just erring on the side of caution. I'll get all four of them started like that, just so that they're clamping it so that the plate can't go anywhere. thought you'd see that plate a lot more than that, but painting it black, it blends in quite nicely actually. I'll find where the bottom hole is. Oh, where is it? There it is. Right, that's 3 of them in. Number 4. Like that. Right, now I haven't got to get my hand through there anymore. I can give it some welly on the inside here and hopefully get these to snap off nicely. Apologise if the camera's wobbling, because I'm in the van it is very wobbly, as you would expect. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That is our throttle pedal plate in place. Now bear in mind those rivets really are only to hold it in position whilst you bolt the pedal in, because the bolts do go right through that plate as well, so we'll have 2 bolts going through it into the pedal inside too. So they're not sort of really structural as such, but still they're on there. They look nice from the inside, nice and smooth. You're not going to catch your feet on anything, so that is absolutely superb. So now we can move on to getting that battery tray in. So I'll come back to you when I'm set up for that, and we need to do a few little mods to make that fit, very similar to what we did on the Stobart van, if you can remember that video if you watched it, because the new battery tray is wider than the original sort of shelf that it sits on, if that makes sense. On this van I have reinforced it quite a lot with fiberglass when I re-fiberglassed a lot of things, so it is very strong in this van in comparison to others I've worked on that have been virtually falling apart, so hopefully that will help us. Right, come back to you in a second. Right, I'll just give that a quick dust over in there. This battery tray is going to sit something like this, and the 2 front holes obviously bolt through the original mounting ledge, no problem, but the back 2 overhang. So what I did, if you saw my video on the Stobart van, I actually made an angled bracket which went from obviously the bottom of the tray, because it was a piece of angle iron, it just right angled down and bolted through the side of this shelf, and that worked really well. So I think I'm going to do the similar sort of thing again. I need to find a suitable piece of angle iron to do it with, obviously. I'm just checking I can still get to my bolt holes under here for the pedal. It might be a bit tight on that top one, so I may have to bolt the pedal in first, which is okay, but I haven't refurbed it yet. This is the issue I'm up against now, is I'm finding a lot of parts I want to put in are in need of refurb, and obviously I haven't been able to do them, which is a shame. So I'm not sure what to do on that one. I may give the pedal a quick clean up, and maybe a little coat of satin black just to tidy it up. We can get that bolted in, and then we haven't got to worry about it anymore, then it's in there then. That may be an idea to do that first of all. I thought I might be able to get to the bolts with it in there, but I don't think I can, so I'll come back to you in a second once I've got my thoughts together. Right, I just thought I'd show you this. This is the throttle pedal. I've just spent a bit of time cleaning it all up, got all the old manky paint off and rust off. It's looking the best it's going to look as far as I can get it. Even the back of the pad there I've cleaned up as well, you can see it's all shiny. So I'm going to give this a wipe down with some degreaser now, coat of etch primer, and then I'll give it some hammerite black. It doesn't actually need etch primer really, but I may do that just so it sort of gives it another layer, you know. So let's get this painted. It probably won't be able to be bolted on today, but while this is drying, we can crack on and get that battery tray at least mocked up, ready to go in once this is in and ready to sort of get the bracket made and all that sort of. I'm waffling. We can get the bracket made, get it all mocked up, and then when this is ready to bolt in, then we can bolt it in properly after that. So we can carry on doing stuff, just slows us down a little bit with things like this because I need to refurb them and stuff. So let's crack on. Right, there we go. That is our throttle pedal etch primered and hammerite painted with smooth black. That does take a fair while to dry, that paint, but I use it because it's very hard wearing, or it seems to be very hard wearing. So there we go, that is that bit done. We can leave that now to obviously dry, and we can crack on and hopefully get this battery tray test fitted. So I'm going to get set up around there and I'll come back to you in just a second. Right, I'm only going to utilise 3 out of the 4 holes on this battery tray. That should be absolutely fine. And what I've made is this, which is a little bracket, which is going to sit, it's got 1 hole in the top, 2 holes on the side. It's going to sit under this hole here and bolt through, and then once that's bolted in there like that, this piece of angle iron is going to sit on the side of this battery box. And I've drilled 2 holes through the side of there to match the 2 holes that are in my new bracket, and that will give it some support with where it's overhanging. So that will effectively sit like that, and it will obviously aid the battery tray, and it will give it some stability on that side. So at least it's bolted down on both sides then. That should be absolutely fine. Yeah, I think that should be good. I don't think I need to use the 3rd hole because there's nowhere to bolt it to. Obviously going straight down through here, and because this is obviously very shallow this side, there's not really anywhere to bolt it to there either. So I'm just going to go with the 1 bracket on 1 corner, and obviously the 2 bolts that will go through the main body of that, which I need to drill holes for now. So I'm going to mark those, drill those 2 holes. I'm going to give this bracket a coat of paint, and then we should be able to at least mock it up. So I'm not going to fit it totally yet because I want to get my pedal fitted first, which is still drying. So at least we're making progress on this side of things. I'll probably just use some black stone chip or whatever on this, and then that should be more than good enough protected wise. Let's just drill those holes while we're here. As I say, these go straight through to the footwell, so unfortunately there's not a lot of room. I had to actually you should have seen the position I had to get in to get these holes. I had to drill these from this side with my hand, just with a drill bit twiddling it, and it took forever because I couldn't get a drill in there. Now these are going to be slightly on the wonk, but it shouldn't make any difference because it's only thin material. There's one. There's 2, and my drill bit just fell out the drill. Right, let's see if they line up. Get a cloth and brush all that off there. It should line up with these holes in this battery tray with any luck. Good enough for me. It's all butted up. Yeah, might want to elongate them very slightly, but that won't make any difference to that. I think actually they'll probably fit through because I used a 9mm drill and they're 8mm bolts. Yeah, straight through. That's all right. Yep, spot on. So those are in there. So now we know that that's all right. I can bolt the bracket up to the other side. I'll probably do that without the battery tray being in there, just so I can get to it easier. Bolt that in under there, and that should be our battery tray, good and solid with any luck. And I may put a metal support on these 2 from underneath, maybe a piece of stainless or something like that, just to give it a bit of extra support on the fiberglass so that it's not going to flex, because I do have a tendency to break in there. So yeah, lovely jubbly. Right, I've just made a little stainless steel strip that is going to sit inside of the footwell underneath, and obviously bridge the two holes on this side to give it a nice big space to spread the load. So that should work out really well with that. Obviously the holes are the same size as what's in that. We've drilled all the holes in there as you've seen. I've now given this bracket a coat of paint, stone chip, whatever you want to call it. That is drying up there at the moment, so we can't really do much more with that at the moment because obviously that's drying. So once all these bits have dried, I can bolt them all in and we should be absolutely marvellous. So it's looking really, really good. Some good progress. Right then, I'm afraid that is going to be it for this episode on MEC-TEC. I have run out of time and I need to get this video out for you on Friday. It is currently Friday afternoon, so I am pushing the time limit just a little bit. If you do like what you see, make sure you do those 4 things for me: like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. If you like projects like this, the Lotus, the little C1, all the others on the channel, make sure you have a look at my back catalogue. There are over 120 videos on there now, all different cars, modern and old. Remember, I've got Instagram, MEC_TEC1985, and I have got Facebook, MEC-TEC, for little sneak peeks during the week of what I'm up to. I can only apologise that we haven't done mega amounts on the van in this video. I mean, I've got a few jobs done, but there's a few things that I can't quite put together yet because of painting, and also need to take the column back out again to paint that, and yada yada yada. You know the score. Car restoration sometimes is a very slow process, and certain things I just cannot get done any quicker due to other things that are going on. So I do apologise, the video is a bit shorter this week and we haven't got quite as many jobs done, but it's the way it goes sometimes, unfortunately. So there we go. Anyway, I'm waffling. If you do want to join me soon for more automotive adventures, I will see you again next time. Cheers guys.